Hello guys, I am back from another video, and today we're talking about a brand new series that is not going to be My Hero Academia related. But instead, I told you guys yesterday that I'm going to be making a Damanchi What If. In this case, what if Bell had a symbiote? And if you see from the thumbnail, well, his symbiote is going to be Null. Yay! The reason why I picked Null is because, well, Null is a god of darkness, and in Damachi, well, Bell literally lives in a world where gods and goddesses basically live there. Until they die. So, this is going to be, my first Damachi What If, so, if you want to, complain about something, like, a part of the story or something that I left out, just comment down below, because I want to listen to your guys, because this is my first What If about Damachi, so please be not as, horrible as the, other guys over there that I, well, let's just say watched. Anyway, so, let us begin. So, we go to the Marvel Universe, where Null is currently, well, in one of the comics, he's basically trying to take over, well, Earth. As, well, Venom, now infused with the power of, the light, basically started beating Null. As when Null is basically beaten to a bloody pulp, he would say this: "You think, my child, you think that you can beat me? I am the Abyss itself. I cannot lose. I can," as, well, Venom would start charging towards him and stabbing him with All Dark. Or was it All Black? Yeah, All Black. Which is his sword. As when he gets stabbed by it, he spits out blood. Specifically, dark blood. Which is basically black blood. Like, black blood. As he says this: "To you, as Venom would say this: "We are not your children. We are Venom, and you shall die. You shall no longer destroy this world." As he starts shoving the blade into, well, Null, as he pushes the blade up, as he's torn in half, as Null would be killed. Not really killed, more like, well, knocked out. So, as his symbiotes, or the symbiote that's basically, covering the whole city, basically disappears, including the whole, well, home thing. As Doctor Strange would grab the body, or the body, I meant body, yeah, wait for a second. As Doctor Strange would say this: "Alright, so Venom, or should I say Brock?" As Brock would say this: "Just Brock. Sorry about that, it was just my cousin being weird." Anyway, so, Brock would say this: what are you gonna do with, as his son would say this: "Are you okay, Dad?" As he says this: "Don't worry, I'm safe. But what are you going to do with Null?" As Doctor Strange would say this: "Oh, I had to put him in another world. At least he won't bother them. Besides, this world already has another problem. Let's just say that." As Eddie would say this: "Oh, I see. Anyway, I should be going back home. Come on." As he would start leaving with this little boy. As for Doctor Strange would say this: "You foul demon. You will no longer pollute this world with darkness. Now, be gone with you." As he throws Null into a portal. In this portal, it leads to the Damanchiverse. So, when Null is thrown into the portal, he wakes up, as his body would start changing into a regular old symbiote. But, because he's now a regular old symbiote, he can basically possess somebody, but he couldn't control them. I mean, he is the regular symbiote now, but he's much more stronger and much more, let's just say, effective than more, regular symbiotes like Venom. Because, remember, he's basically the creator of all the symbiotes, so he can basically create his own symbiotes with his whim. Just like, snap, just like creates his own symbiote in an instant, if he wants to. So, when Null was thrown into that portal, he sees several dimensions. Even one from the My Hero Academia verse, where he sees Anti-Venom and Carnage basically, combining together to create, Sanguinius. From my What If Deku Had the Symbiote, as he says this. So, my creations, they defeated me. Very well. I guess it's my defeat. But when I come back, I'll be stronger. Or even if I can come back there. As the portal stops, as he was sucked into another universe, being the Damanchiverse. He was meant to go to another universe where that universe is basically in chaos, and they could probably kill Null, but he was sucked into another wormhole, or should I say dimension hole, or whatever it's called. He was sucked into, the dimension hole where the Damanchiverse is. What the heck? Wait for a second. Sorry about that. So, Null would slam into the ground as he turned into, fully transformed into, by the way, into a regular old symbiote. As he says this. What? Where's my arm? Where's my... As he looks into a little puddle, which is currently, it's in the Damanchiverse is currently, raining, as he says this. Where am I? As he looks into, a puddle, as he would see that he's a symbiote now. As he would say this. What? My body? Where's my... Doctor Strange! As he starts yelling up in the sky. As he would say this. That bastard. Now I'm turned into this. Into one of my own kin. Where should I go then? As he would start moving through the forest, looking for hosts. Because now he's become a regular old, symbiote, or at least a symbiote that's a little bit stronger, but still a symbiote nonetheless. He starts looking for a host. He sees several creatures, some of them monsters, and so he would connect to them, but he couldn't, fully control them, or be, synchronized with them, just like Venom and Eddie. But instead, he would just get shot out. But he does get the DNA of them and basically gain their powers. So, after a while of being in the forest, he would say this. For now, I should just sleep. The next time I could find a host. As he would fall asleep. Let's go to a different perspective. In a nearby village, we see little young Belle. Belle is currently in the village, doing some hard labor. This village is actually being subjugated by a certain, let's just say, familia. Let's just say, a random familia, for example. This familia, I don't really know the god. Let's just say it's like, what's a great god? Let's just say a random familia is planning to destroy this village because apparently this village is actually filled with lots and lots of gold, and that familia is quite greedy. So, after a while, Belle has finished his job of cutting down some firewood as he brings it back to his grandfather, being Zeus. At least I think so. I kind of forgotten. But you can just tell me in the comments. And also, tell me a bit tell me more about the story of Danmachi, because I kind of forgotten the story for a while now, and I've been meaning to watch a summary video about that. So maybe tell me a bit more of the story, and also a bit more of the characters, and if I forget like a character's name, I'll describe it to you, and you should like tell me what the actual character's name is, please, because I really need help. So, anyway, so we move to Izuku, not Izuku, I meant Bell. Great, it's going to start. uh, Recently I've been talking to a friend of mine, and he's been telling me that, well, he would get confused on, like, saying it's Bell, but every time when he does that, he says Izuku. And he's also whatever as well. We've been talking on Discord lately. So, anyway, so Bell would, after he finished, like, cutting down the firewood and brings it to his grandfather, Zeus, his grandfather would say this: "Young Bell, I want you to finish up this." As he would bring some coal, or should I say some, well, money, to the village so they can, like, get some food. So, he and his grandfather would start moving through the village, as they would see, well, the Familia appear. The Familia, wielding swords, bows, magic items, and many other things, they basically start destroying the village. Everybody was slaughtered. Nobody was safe. And most of the women and children, they were brought forth to the captain of the of this familia. Let's just call it the random familia, for example, or something like that. So the leader would say this: So pretty good. Now I want you to put them in cages. Let's bring them to the entertainment district soon. As one of them would say this: "Yes, sir." As they started bringing them to the entertainment district, as he says this: "For the rest, kill them. And you find some, if you see some that are weak and pathetic, you can kill them if you want to." As when Bell sees this, his grandfather would come out of the shadows and gets ready to shoot, well, a blast of magic. And this is not their arcanum, by the way, so Zeus would start shooting out lightning, as one of them would shoot him in the head, killing him. Bell would fall to the ground, seeing his grandfather sacrifice himself. The rest of the village men would start leaving, start running away, as these, well, familia members would see Bell, as he would say this, the leader, aka the captain: "So, you're the one who ruined our plans," as he grabs him right in the collar, as he says this: "Men, let's beat this little rat to a pulp. After all, he's quite weak." And they started beating him, slashing him, and started carving several, well, mean insults into his, well, skin. Then after that, they left, the village smoldering slowly turning into ashes. Bell laying on the ground, bleeding to death, almost feeling like he is weak, he is worthless, but he wants to cling on to his life for his grandfather, Zeus. So, let's go back to Null. Null is still looking through the village, or not really village, more like the forest, as he would see the smoldering village now turned into nothing but ash. As he would say this: "What happened here? It seems that somebody attacked." As he starts looking through the village, he would see Bell. Bell looking like he's about to die, as he would say this: "A child." As he starts coming closer to him, as he starts, well, absorbing him. Not really absorbing him, more like fusing with him, doing the whole like venom thing or symbiote thing, where they basically started, well, trying to connect to each other. When Bell sees this, he starts trying to take this thing off, thinking it's a monster. But he couldn't. Bell would start screaming in pain, feeling so much anger and rage as he feels darkness, the abyss itself, looking back at him. As Null would say this, "It seems that we're perfect for each other." As Bell would say this, "Who's talking?" As he would say this, "Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Null, God of Darkness and the Abyss, or at least the former God of the Abyss. So, tell me, boy, where am I?" As he says this, "You're in my village." He would say the village's name, let's just call it, Random Village or whatever. As he would say this, "So, this village has been destroyed by this familiar group or whatever it's called." As he says this, "Yeah, the familiar said, or at least the captain said, that he wants to bring all of my friends and villagemen to the entertainment district to be sold off." As he says this, "This world seems to be quite corrupt. So, may I ask, is there any other gods like me?" As he would say this, "Yeah, they are some gods. Like, there's Hestia, there's Loki, as he would say this, "Enough! So, you're telling me that gods are also here as well, just like me?" As he says this, "Yeah. So, what do you want with me?" As he says this, "Well, isn't it obvious? I want you to be my host. Because my physical body's been destroyed and turned into this, I want you to be my eyes, my mouth, my ears, everything. I want you to be my vessel. Got it?" As he would say this, right. As he would say this, as he looks at the dead body of Belle's grandfather. As he would say this, "So who's this man?" As he says this, "Oh, my grandfather. He died, sacrificing himself." As he says this, "Oh, don't be such sentimental whatever. Let's just try and, I don't know, get your revenge." As Belle hears that, he says this, "Revenge?" As he says this, "Correct. Because that bastard, that captain, killed your grandfather. Why not do the same? Try and kill him. Make him suffer. Make him feel fear. Let them feel the abyss. Let them feel the power of Null." As Belle would say this, "Yes. Yes." As Null would say this, "Great. Now, let us pack our things, because we should try and find a brand new home." As Belle would say this, "Oh yeah, I forgot. It's my 14th birthday, and I was supposed to leave the village today. But after that familia came by and destroyed my village, well, maybe I could live there." As he would say this, "Where exactly?" As he would say this, "There's a place known as Arario, a place with gods, goddesses, and many other familias. There's even a dungeon nearby. We can probably become adventurers." As he would say this, "Really?" As he starts thinking in his mind, But because he's thinking in his mind, it's also connected to Bell, so he hears the conversation in his mind. So, because there's adventures in that world, maybe I could also... Yes. Yes. As Bell would say this. Yes, what? In his mind. Wait, we're connected? How are you reading my... As he says this. I don't know, you're... Wait. That means we're connected. As he says this. Oh yeah. My children. They have that type of ability. But either way, Bell. As he says this. Wait, how do you know my name? As he says this. Check your mind, Colonel. Now, anyway, I wanted to ask you this. Do you want to become stronger? Want to become much more powerful? Want to become something greater than yourself? Do you want to show them that you are not weak? That you are not a pathetic little whelp? Now, tell me, scream it, loud and proud. As Bell would scream, saying, I will be strong. I won't let them get away with this. As he screams this out, as several birds basically come out of the forest, basically scared, as Null would say this. There we go. Now, let us go, Bell Colonel. Pack your things. We're going to Arario, and we are going to become adventurers, greater than anybody else. Isn't that right? As Bell would say this. Yeah, let's do this, Null. And so, they grabbed onto the nearby, wagon, which, there's still a horse there, or at least the last surviving horse, as Bell would tell it to start moving. The horse starts moving as they start going through the forest as they left that smoldering village, leaving it to die, disappearing into ashes. So, Bell has been talking to, Null, telling him about his story, that he was a god in another universe, a world that's filled with heroes and villains alike. He was the greatest evil. As Bell would say this. So you're supposed to be the greatest evil? Huh. As he says this. Correct. Or at least, used to. Until one of my children, this Eddie Brock, got one of my children and turned it into a creature of frickin' light and defeated me. But in this brand new world, I'm okay with that. I don't really mind the light anymore. And for now, let us follow our dreams. As Bell would say this, I guess. So, after a while of riding through the forest, they decide to stop as they set up camp. So, Bell would start making some food. As for, wait for a second, as for Null, he starts eating with Bell, as Bell would say this, not my finest work, but still, as he says this, at least it's better than the stupid berries that I had. Ugh, after eating that poisonous one, at least I still got that ability, but still, it's super disgusting. As he says this, so, you've been hopping through host to host until you met me. As he says this, yes, and that being able to use those creatures' powers. So maybe try and, use one of their abilities. As Bell would say this, alright, as his arm would start changing into a large demonic claw. As he says this, whoa, What is this sticky stuff? As he says this sticky stuff is a symbiote, or a clintar as I prefer to call it. In fact, in my language, clintar means prison, and my prison clintar, the one that was the planet of the symbiotes, trapped me in that stupid-ass cage. But I don't mind it anymore. Besides, I'm free. As Bell would start slicing the tree apart, as he would say this, "Well, my reflexes are faster, and I feel much stronger." As he says this, "It's all thanks to me, my boy. Now, let's get some rest. The next day we're probably gonna get there. Right?" As Bell would just look at him. It's gonna take weeks." As he says this. "Excuse me, what?" As he would say this. "Yeah, it's gonna take weeks." As Null would say this. "For God's sake. So, Bell. So, how many weeks exactly?" As he says this. "Well, I don't know, maybe like 4, 3, I don't know." As he says this. "Alright, let's just get some rest. Now." As Bell would sigh says this. "Okay, Null." And so, they go into their little, carriage that used to be filled with wheat, but now completely empty, I meant, as they gone to sleep. So, before you leave, guys, I want all of you guys to, tell me about the story of, Damachi, and also correct me in some stuff, because I'm still new to making, what it's about Bell. So, I also want all of you guys to pick which familia that, well, Bell is gonna be picking. Like, for example, Bell should be in, I don't know, the Hestia familia. But, the Hestia familia, I mean, the Hestia familia is, a bit generic. Because why not pick a random familia, or for example, maybe the Ishtar familia, for example. Maybe try and pick that, or something like that. So, just comment down below, and pick whichever familia, whatever familia that, well, Bell should, join. And also, I want all of you guys to pick a ship, because I don't know which ship to, well, give Bell. Anyway, so, I hope you liked the video, and I hope you like this brand new, what if, ideas that are mostly about Bell this time, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!